Not many people like to move during the holidays, but in this episode, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the pros and cons of buying your first home during the holiday season.
Welcome to the Homeowner Prep podcast, where every week we educate and encourage aspiring homeowners to help them buy their first home faster. If you aspire to own a home, you're in the right place, so enjoy. Do us a favor and leave a review, a rating, and be sure to subscribe. Now let's get to this week's episode. Hey, real quick before we start, I want to ask you a question. How long are you going to wait before you decide to get started? I mean, you want to buy a house and you're earning income, so what's holding you back? Visit our website at homeownerprep.com/start. You can take an online assessment and set up a free 30-minute call, and we're going to put a plan together to help you get from where you are to where you truly want to be. So don't let fear hold you back from buying your first home. All right, now back to the episode.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Homeowner Prep podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are filming on location, if you would. We are not in the studio as we're coming from vacation and under the weather and a lot of different things going on. But I wanted to just thank you for tuning in for another episode. I do have some great content that I want to talk about today in regards to buying your first home during the holiday season. I've had some conversations recently with buyers who like to maybe put their home search on pause during the holidays and then start things up again in the beginning of the year and wondering if that's the best strategy to take. And from my experience, I honestly feel that buying a home during the holidays can actually be one of the best times for you to buy. And I'm going to go over a couple of reasons why I feel that way. But I really want you to understand that, when you're looking to buy a house, the first and number one thing that you have to understand is that buying a home and getting qualified to buy is not a guarantee. So whenever you're qualified to buy, let's say in October or November, you got qualified, you got a pre-approval letter in hand, that's going to be good for 90 days. And you want to take full advantage of you getting out, hitting the market, really getting out, seeing homes, making offers, and trying your best to buy that house within those 90 days. The reasons why they put a time frame on that is because things can change. Your credit score can change. Your job situation can change. And so a loan officer is going to say, hey, I'm going to give you this pre-approval for 90 days, knowing that things could possibly change in the future. So my number one advice is always to take full advantage of that pre-approval letter that you have in hand. If the bank says you're pre-approved, get out there and go find a home. I wouldn't put it on pause. But I do understand. I understand that, people don't want to move during the holidays. It can be a stressful time. You may have family in town and you may be traveling yourself. And so there's a lot of times where, making a move and buying your first home may not seem advantageous. But there are a couple reasons why it might actually be the best time for you to buy. Number one is any home that you see on the market, if somebody's deciding to sell their home like you, they don't want to move during the holidays. They don't want to have additional stress during the holidays. But if they have their house on the market, it's because they absolutely have to move. They have to sell their home. In comparison to the summertime or, even early last year where we saw a lot of people were just testing the market, if your house is on the market during the holidays, chances are you really have to get going. You have to be out. And so you're going to come across sellers who are more motivated to sell their home. They're more motivated to work with you to get an offer accepted so they can make that move that they have to make. So, when you see a home on the market during the holidays, chances are they're going to be a more serious seller. Number two, if you are deciding to say, hey, I'm going to push forward and go ahead and try to buy a home during the holiday season, knowing that a lot of people are going to take a break, it means that there's going to be less competition for you. And so if you're trying to buy, chances are you're not going to have a lot of offers on a property, so you're going to be competing against a smaller number of buyers as opposed to waiting to the beginning of the year where a lot of folks may have that same game plan to say, I'm going to start things over the beginning of the year. A lot of people may have New Year's resolutions of buying a home. And so they're going to start their home search during that time as well. And so there's going to be more buyers out there in the market fighting over the homes that are available. So if you're deciding to go ahead and push forward and trying to buy a house during the holidays, chances are you're going to have less competition and a better chance of your offer getting accepted. Now, with your offer getting accepted, especially during these times, if you see homes that are sitting on the market, you have sellers who are motivated and have to sell, chances are you're going to get a better offer accepted. You may not get lower than asking, but you may get some things in your favor. For instance, the seller may be willing to negotiate with you on repairs, getting things fixed, and they're willing to cover those costs. They may be willing to give you a credit to buy down your interest rate, or give you some credits to pay for your closing costs. So there's going to be some advantages for you getting an offer accepted, getting in a contract with a ready, willing, and motivated seller. You're always going to have a better opportunity to actually close the deal when you get into escrow with a seller who is definitely motivated to sell. And that is key. Again, buying during the holidays and selling during the holidays, it can be tough. It can be stressful, but you're dealing with people who really have to make a move. And so if you're thinking about buying a home, if you've already been pre-approved, you got a pre-approval letter in hand, I would say that it would be in your best interest to move forward and try to buy during the holidays. Less competition, better potential terms of your offer getting accepted, and you're dealing with motivated sellers. Now, if you're ready and willing to wait until the beginning of the year, nothing wrong with that. Obviously you want to be sure that you have the time and really putting in the effort to really do your due diligence and make a reasonable decision. The last thing I want you to do is to be in a rush to buy. So buying a home is a serious investment. You have to be ready to buy. You have to be, if you make an offer on a property, you have to be willing to move forward with that property and see yourself in that home. It should not be a rash decision. So if you feel like, hey, buying a home during the holidays would just be too stressful, I wouldn't be able to focus all my attention on that process, then by all means take a break. But if you're ready and you have a pre-approval in hand, I would suggest that you get started. If you don't have a pre-approval yet and you're kind of figuring out, hey, what should I do to get going? I want to buy. I know that it's the holiday season and, you want to take some of this advice and really get out there in the market. I would suggest that you definitely reach out to a loan officer in your area. If you don't have one that you can reach out to us and we'll connect you with a loan officer in your area and also an agent in your area as well. You can visit our website at homeownerprep.com/start, and we'll be able to connect you with somebody in your local neighborhood. But ultimately, like I said, I really want you to take full advantage of the holiday season. Take advantage of the fact that you're going to have less competition. Take advantage of the fact that you can get an offer accepted without competing against so many people and prices running up so high that you get priced out of the market. So take advantage of the holiday season. If you have any questions that you just want to reach out and ask directly in regards to your situation, you can reach us on any of our social media platforms. We get most of our questions on Instagram at Homeowner Prep. But again, I hope that you would take full advantage of the holiday season, take full advantage of the opportunity that you have to buy a home before the market really gets busy and crowded once again at the beginning of the year. I hope you take advantage of the information that I provided, knowing that the holiday season can be busy, can be stressful, but can also be a good time for you to buy your first home. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. And I hope you got some great value from today's episode. And I look forward to providing you with some more great info on the next episode. Until then, be blessed.
If you've enjoyed this show and got some great value from it, please be sure to rate and review. And if you're checking it out on YouTube, please be sure to subscribe. That really does help us to continue the show and bring in some great guests to help you on your home buying journey.